You've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to ask yourself the hard questions. Good morning to every one of you. I think I'm going to start giving out medals, man. I'm going to start giving out awards. I'm going to start giving out Starbucks gift cards, okay? Because you guys encourage me so much by showing up. Okay, good morning, Maria. Maria was the first person popping on this morning. And obviously, you all know Miss Cynthia. Miss Cynthia is going to be here. Miss Cynthia, you don't know, man. Just showing up encourages me. Okay, just showing up encourages me. But this morning, we're continuing our talk on this whole concept of understanding and dealing with shame, hurt, and guilt. Shame, hurt, and guilt. Understanding, overcoming the whole basis of those three things that occurs in our lives. It happens in the lives of everybody. Okay? And so this morning we're going to continue our talk. But how y'all feeling this morning? Check in for me. How's everybody doing? I'm interested in knowing how is everybody doing this morning. And now, how many of you can come clean? How many of you would be honest and say, boy, Miller, I've dealt with with my share of shame. I've dealt with my level of guilt. There were so many areas of hurt that I've experienced that I can honestly say that there are residue. Hey, Ms. Sybil, can you look back and reflect and really think about? There's been some places of shame. There's been some places of guilt. There's been a series of hurt. How many of you can really say that honestly and don't be afraid? Hey, listen, as I said before, Miss Jocelyn, in the words of Mother Wells, come clean if you're going, come clean if you have to come rough dry. In other words, no matter what, be clean. Be honest with you. Be honest with you. Now, here's the deal. You know, you can live a long time and not address an issue. Let me say that again. You can live a long time and not address an issue. And so one of the ways, Miss Cynthia, one of the ways, Coach Deborah, is for us to what I call evaluate. Evaluate. I believe self-evaluation is critical to living life effectively. Self-evaluation. When you look at your life, you want to ask yourself some very honest questions. Now, you know, guess what's the demon? Guess what's the spirit? Guess what keeps people back from a good, healthy dose of evaluation? Guess what keeps people back? Write this word down. Denial. Angela, the thing that keeps people back from a good, healthy dose of evaluation is denial. Write that word down, denial. This morning, I want you to think about that, denial. Where have I been allowing myself to function in denial? Oh, man. Boy, denial is a beast. Because denial at its core is you telling yourself something that's not true. Let me say that again. Denial at its core is you telling yourself something that is not true. All of us deal with some level of denial. All of us deal with some level of denial. I like what I do, and I have a lot going for me, but I'm in denial about some things. Let me say it again. I like who I am. I like the direction I'm heading. I like some of the aspects of my life, how things are coming together. But if the truth be told, I'm in denial. I'm in denial about some things. And I'm not as good as I should be. I'm not as good as I tell myself. But here's what I'm learning. I'm learning that self-evaluation is critical for improvement. Evaluation in general is critical for improvement, but watch this. You've got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be willing to accept your flaws and behaviors that's not allowing you to grow. What is it that's not allowing me to grow, that's a part of my flaws, my deficiencies, my behavior? What about me is hurting me? Write that question down. Right? Can somebody write that down and put that on the screen? What about me? What behavior that's self-generated behavior that you know what? I can't point this at anybody. Okay? What about me that's hurting me? Hmm. Boy, that's a strong question. What about me that's hurting me? Boy, that's something else. If we were to answer that question, our credit score would go to the next level. If we were to answer that question, I'm telling you guys, we would find ourselves with multiple streams of income. If we were to answer that question, there are some people we would cut off. There are some behaviors we would change. Pastor Brad Claire, as you know, I'm venturing into areas I've never gone before. And one of the things that I've realized is if I'm going to do well moving forward, I cannot lie to myself. I cannot be in denial. I cannot be in denial. So the question is, what about me that's hurting me? Now, here's the deal. My future can be brighter than my past, and my tomorrow can be better than today, but it won't change if I don't look at my behavior. Stop pointing the fingers. This is not the season to blame. This is not the season to blame. Somebody needs to write that down. This is not the season to blame. This is the season to take on personal responsibility. I am 48 years old, Sister Rolanda, and at this point in my life, I need to come clean with myself. Ricardo, you have been your biggest problem, okay? You have been your biggest issue in the last decade. So, self-evaluation is difficult, but extremely necessary. Okay? Self evaluation is difficult but extremely necessary. Determining what shame, guilt, and hurt is that you got to now lean in to your experiences and look at your perspective. Okay? You have to look at your perspective. And so let me ask the question. Let me see how many of you will engage yourself. I know it's early. I know some of you haven't gotten your coffee yet. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking tea. But let me ask the question. Let me see. Pastor Clay, I'm interested in knowing. Miss Sybil, I'm interested in knowing which of the three, shame, guilt, or hurt, is the worst. Okay, I want to know. I want to know. Please let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I only got 3 more minutes to finish this lesson. I want to stir something up. I want whenever you show up at Effective Living, you say, "Boy, Miller takes he pushes the envelope and take us where we haven't gone before." Because you can have a facade, man. There are a lot of people who got it going on the outside, but on the inside, they are a wreck. They're so insecure. They're so dealing with past hurt and drama and just mess. But I want to know which of the three, shame, guilt, or hurt, you perceive is the worst. Come on, I got 2 people to respond so far. I need a few more of you to respond. When you look at your experiences, when you look at so many other people's experiences, which one of these you believe is the stronghold that keeps people back from maximizing their potential? Which of them, shame, guilt, or hurt? Thank you so much, you guys who are responding. I will talk to you guys in the comment section in a minute. Watch this. Each emotion, this is the truth. This is the truth. Each emotion carries its own weight and can deeply impact one's mental and emotional well being. Shame often involves feeling of unworthiness and inadequacies, and leading to a sense of self-loathing and isolation. You end up, shame is a beast, boy. Oh man, shame is a beast. And I see a lot of you guys are saying shame, shame, but boy, guilt is something else too. I agree with you, Kendrick, guilt is big. How, how many have heard the statement before? Hurting people hurt people. That's real too. So shame, hurt, and guilt. I'm seeing it appears that shame and guilt are the two that's leading my survey this morning. Shame often involves feelings of unworthiness and inadequacy. It brings you to a bad place, but guilt involves remorse from past actions or behavior, potentially loading to self blame and a desire for redemption. Shame is a beast. Guilt is a beast. Hurt involves emotional pain from past experiences, which can affect your relationship and your self esteem. Ultimately, the severity of these emotions depends on the context and the duration of the experience. It is essential to acknowledge and address each of these emotions and allow yourself to have empathy and compassion to promote healing and growth within yourself. Okay? Write this down. Self reflection has a massive impact on your productivity. Okay? Write this down. Self reflection has a massive impact on your productivity. It has a massive impact on your future. You got to be willing to ask open-ended questions to provoke thoughts. When I found myself at 40 years old, and I'm 48 right now, I started asking myself, why am I ashamed to talk to the doctor? Why am I ashamed to talk to the banker? Why am I ashamed to talk to my pastor? Why am I ashamed to talk to my wife? Why am I ashamed to talk to my son? What guilt am I carrying from a week, a month, or a year? Which guilt have I allowed to? Listen, guys, ask open-ended questions to provoke thought. I'm not talking about questions, Megs. This is not question for others. This is question for self. Okay, this is no question for others. This is question for self. What you want to do is you want to have reflection that allows you to examine your behavior. How have I been doing? When you look back at the four pillars of effective living: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun, where am I at? How am I doing? Create a safe space for honest self evaluation. Create a safe space for honest self evaluation. Where do you go to be honest? Hello? Where do you go? Don't tell me you go to church, because a lot of people lie in church. How you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored. How you doing? I'm doing great. But then you know that they're in their car. They don't want to get out of the car. They don't want to go to their jobs. They can't sleep at night. But we talk a talk that we're not doing the work on the back end to make sure that we're doing as well as we're declaring. I'm a strong believer in declaring a thing, but I'm here this morning to tell you, you've got to go ahead and be able to look at yourself and tell yourself the numbers don't lie. The truth of the matter is, I'm not doing as good as I thought. And some of us have lied to ourselves for so long that denial has become a part of our DNA. Some of us have lied to ourselves so long that denial has become a part of our DNA. So here's the deal. I live with the thought there's always room for improvement. Can I get 10 of you to say that this morning? See, and that's not for others, that's for you. There's always room for improvement. I know some people think I'm a little cocky. I know they think I'm a little much. Some people even think I'm a little arrogant or whatever. But at the end of the day, when I get up every morning, I know I don't have it all together. And I know there's always room for improvement. And I know I'm trying to improve. But at the same time, I know I'm not going to please everybody. Everybody's not gonna like me. I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But I'm honestly asking, Ricardo, how can you improve? How can you make the situation better? What about you that's not doing well that you have been telling yourself you're doing well, but you're not actually doing as well? I was talking to a mother the other day, and she said her daughter said to her, "Hey, listen, I'm doing well. I have $100 in my account." And the mother says, "But you make $4,000 a week." She said, "I'm telling you, I'm doing so much better. I got $100 in my account." She felt good because before she used to spend everything. Now she got $100 in the account. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. A lot of times, what we perceive as doing well, it is better than what we were probably once practicing, but it's not as good as what it should be. There's always room for improvement. Last thing, use mistakes as teachable moments. Let me write that down for me, please. Use mistakes as teachable moments. All of us will have those. We all will have mistakes. Don't allow mistakes to beat you up. Allow mistakes to become your classroom. Okay? Allow mistakes to become the thing that you build your life on. In other words, you look at your mistakes and you learn from them. Write this down for me. I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm learning from my mistakes. So write this down. I'm learning from my mistakes. So here's the deal. We're all going to make them. But the question is, what are you learning from them? Okay, what are you learning from them? So anyhow, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to dive a little bit more into this subject, but I want you to have times of reflection. Everybody needs to reflect. Everybody needs to examine. Okay, what can I do? What can I do different? What can I change? What is it that I've been doing that's hurting me? Okay, what am I doing that can change? What am I doing that I need to stop doing? And what have I been carrying for a while that's been a weight? Self evaluation is critical for effective living. Shame, hurt, and guilt is real. How many of y'all agree with that? Shame, hurt, and guilt is real. And somebody needs to know you got to let it go. And if you can't let it go by yourself, go get help. Because here's the deal, you can live a long time with all three of them. You can find yourself not maximizing your potential because of all three of them. At this stage of my life, I don't need to be carrying shame, guilt, or hurt with me into my future. I don't want to mess up my present because of the mess that I took from the past and brought it to a place that it doesn't belong. Address it before it continues to sabotage you in all of the areas of life that truly matters to you. God bless you guys. Don't miss tomorrow. This is going to be hot.